This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the Stratford High Renovation Subcommittee of the Building Needs Committee of the Stratford Town Council. I'm going to call us to order at 5:33 p.m. and entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our regular October 4th meeting.
So moved, Bob DiLorenzo.
Second, Susan Lance.
All right. Thank you both for that. Any corrections, comments, concerns related to the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye. Motion carries unanimously. Under item 3, that brings us to the town council update. Councilman Poisson.
I don't think there was anything major, so it's okay. Alan, everything's going well.
All right, sounds great. Thank you for that report. Under item 4, and also under this item, we'll do the we'll just do the financial update. There's a separate item for the change orders. So, Doug, go ahead, give us the financial update for this month.
Well, currently we are still sitting with owner's contingency. We had some change orders that are approved last month. It's brought our owner's contingency down to $703,404. So we are in good shape.
All right, sounds good. Anybody have any questions concerning our current status with the owner contingency? All right, sounds good. So absent Tim or anyone from Turner being here, Doug, I want to just give us a quick update on where we are with project closeout.
I know that Tim has some punch list items that they're working on. I've had conversations with Lisa from Antonazi, and I have a meeting with Brian Messerschmidt tomorrow to be brought up to speed totally on the mechanical and commissioning. So I'll have a better update for you in December in regards to the commissioning. That's pretty much all I have for right now.
All right, sounds good. Any questions for Doug concerning our current status relative to closeout of construction activity? All right, hearing none, I'll move us along to item 6 under change orders and amendments. Doug had sent out a couple of items to a few of the members prior to the meeting. They're not big dollar value item-wise, but I'll let Doug bring us through them. The first item is Turner change order request number 326.
Yeah, if you could bear with me for 2 seconds. All right. If I get down to, here we go. All right. The first COR, if it will open for me, here we go. The first COR 326R00 are credits of $2,566 to be returned to the project from Robert H. Lord and Turner, which is their general conditions fee on top of the Lord price. And the second one is,
Doug, hold off. Let me take a motion and a vote on them individually. So this is a credit for attic stock material from the auditorium chair vendor. I'll entertain a motion that this be accepted in the amount of credit amount of $2,566.
Mr. Chairman.
So moved, Bob DiLorenzo. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give that. I got you there first, Rich, but I'll give DiLorenzo the second.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. Not a problem.
Going over.
All right. Are there any questions or concerns related to this credit item? Yes, Mr. Poisson.
Were these emailed to us, you said? Did I miss an email?
There wasn't a broad distribution on these from Doug, and they I believe they came out earlier today.
That's right. I sent it. Oh, I sent it to John Casey. Open it up. John Casey, Alan, and Tim and Lisa. So I did not disseminate it to the whole committee. I sent it to John and Alan.
All right, Doug, in the future, I'd like to be included on that, at least me, as chairman of the Building Needs Committee, and we are used to all these getting emailed to the whole committee. If you need something distributed, you can email to Aileen and she can do it for you.
All right, we'll make sure that happens in the future.
Yeah, sorry about that, Ken. As for me, I spent most of my day out in the field today, so I wasn't able really to kind of forward things from lunch as I normally do. But yeah, we'll keep that, moving forward, make sure we have all our bases covered with getting these distributed.
Yep, I'll make sure you guys are all covered. I'm jumping through hoops too. As you all are aware, Casa Diamantis is no longer director of school construction grants, and that's throwing some wrenches in things. Are we ready to move on to COR 327?
Yep, just let me take any other questions, comments, concerns on 326. All right, hearing none, all those in favor of taking the credit signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. And then Doug, take us through 327. And if you can kind of add in some explanation with the bond reconciliations.
So there was a amended contract price for fire protection at the Stratford High School, which resulted in an increase of $1,170 of additional bonding cost, which was the first item, PCO 7, item 570 for MJ Daly. So they had a change order. It increased the requirement for the bond. And so this was the additional cost of that bond. The second one, BP 32 all electric bond reconciliation, was again based on the final contract price. There was a change to the original contract price, which required them to bond additional to get to the 100%, and that was $2,387. And then Turner had fees that are part of general conditions and changes, and those fees were added to the additional bonding amounts that were required to bring the bond to the 100% to cover the 100% of that package. So MJ Daly had a package price of X, it went up to Y. There was an additional cost for bonding to bring it so they had 100% coverage. That's the difference in both of them. And then in Turner's contract, they have general conditions and fees that are part of the contract. Anytime that there's a change order, those fees are included. And so that is where you're seeing the Turner fees for a total of $4,017.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve 327.
So moved, Dan Semp.
Thank you, Dan Semp. Is there a second?
Susan Lance.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Lance. Questions, comments, discussion on this item? All right, hearing those, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, Mr. Fredette.
All these adjustments were all contractual?
Yes, I believe it's a function of when the change orders get approved, they increase the contract amount. That increase then triggers an increase in the bond because the contract value went up, the bonding costs go up, and on these construction management projects, the subcontractors are allowed to claim for those costs.
Okay, thank you.
And just in addition, we always require that all of the trade contractors carry 100% performance bond. So this is the bond that we're talking about.
Excellent. Thank you, Doug. All right. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. It brings us to item 7. Are there any items to be brought up under new business this evening? Mr. Poisson.
Alan, it's Mr. Chairman, it's not new business, but my memory just kicked in, and I'd just like to amend my town council report in that we did approve Turner COR 325 for those day 2 items.
Okay, I just wrote that down on my records. I'm sure Aileen will make the same comment in hers. We'll have that included in the minutes under the town council update. So thank you for that correction addition.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other items to be brought forward under new business? All right. Hearing none. Item 8. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, December 6th at 5:30 p.m. the usual time. Special meeting if needed, but at this point, I think it's safe to say unlikely to be needed. Would be November 15th at 5:30. And before taking the motion to adjourn, I just want to encourage everyone to go out and vote tomorrow. Best of luck to the candidates that are with us, and let's just hope that tomorrow is a fair and decisive election with results that are not questioned, and we move forward, from Wednesday on. That having been said, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Mr.
adjourn.
Poisson.
Second, Susan
Second.
Lance. Susan Lance.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Lance. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Chair votes aye, and we are adjourned at 5:45 p.m.
Guys, if you're on building needs, we're going to start as soon as Aileen tells me I have a quorum, so please stay around. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good
Thanks, Doug.
night.
All right, let me see if I can get Lom on. Okay, actually, Ken, you're good to go.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the Building Needs Committee of November 1st, 2021 to order at 5:47 p.m. My name is Ken Poisson. I'm the 6th District Councilman and Chairman of the Building Needs Committee. Item 2 is the approval of minutes from our October 4th meeting. I'll take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Copy, Lorenzo.
Left you hanging there. Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Item 3 is ongoing items. 3A is Board of Education buildings. A1 is the Stratford High School Renovations Subcommittee, which we were all just on, which just ended. I'll turn it over to Chairman of that subcommittee, Alan Llewellyn.
Thank you, Building Needs Chair Poisson. I think we may have set a speed record with the high school meeting this evening. Work is winding down there. There's still some funds left in owner contingency, so that's good to have that here at the end as part of closeout and possibly finding ways to use that money to better enhance Stratford High School. Just so everyone knows, neither Turner nor anyone from Antonazi were on the call with us tonight, as is customary for projects that are kind of in the closeout mode. They'll be on as needed and as directed by Doug Rogers from CRAC. So Doug reported that Turner is working on some remaining punch list and day 2 items, and he's got a meeting tomorrow with the team for getting a status update on the HVAC commissioning, which is moving forward. There were a couple of smallish change order items that got addressed as well. So the first one was number 326, which is a credit for auditorium chair attic stock that will not be provided. I would move that we accept this credit in the amount of $2,566.
I'll second Dan Smith.
So moved.
Okay, we had a motion and a second already. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Next, Alan.
The next item was change order request number 327. This was to do some bond reconciliation for the performance bonds through the change order process. Contract values went up, and then the bond costs have to get rolled up in order to match. This was for the fire protection contractor and for the electrical contractor. I would move that we accept this in the amount of $4,017.
So moved, Bob DiLorenzo.
Okay, so second by Bob. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Anything else, Alan?
Nope, that'll conclude the high school report for this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Item A2 is open work orders. These were emailed to us ahead of time, as always, to help streamline the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Rich Ruggiero? I have one, Rich or Dan. We had talked before about the Bunnell Fieldhouse, how there was a leak in the corner there near the downspout, near the concession stand. And I see that more asphalt was poured in that corner. However, I've been informed that the leak is still there. Is there a chance that you guys can get somebody back out there to check it again?
Yes, we'll get back out there again and make sure that's where it was coming from and not somewhere else. Yeah, because they patched a hole in the concrete and then they paved over it, so it might be coming in from somewhere else, or the patch just didn't hold. So we'll take care of that.
Okay. Obviously, everybody knows the Thanksgiving game is coming up, and it'd be great to get that done before the Thanksgiving football game.
Yep, we'll get back out there tomorrow.
Thanks very much, Dan.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I had one issue with this is up at Flood, and I don't know if this is for Dan or for Rich. It's really with the sidewalk all the way down on the east end where the baseball field is, just beyond the baseball field. That whole area is being blocked. The walkway is being blocked by trees and branches. So students walking up just don't have access to the sidewalk area right there. And there's actually a huge tree that its roots have pushed up the sidewalk, which is creating a hazard. So
Are
sure
these
if that's not us-
fallen trees and branches, or are they just growing?
they're just growing, Dan. They're just completely over the walkway area. And it's actually a dangerous area for the kids to walk up.
And that's over by
For
the
those
band
that-
room site on that, over by the hill?
Yeah, just before you get to the peak of the hill,
Okay.
chapel.
All right, I'll give
Yeah.
that to Kelly and have her check it out. They could have them trimmed or taken down.
Right.
Anything else, Dan?
No, thank you.
All right, any other questions for Rich or Dan? Okay, item 3B is general buildings, town buildings. The open work orders and building repairs were also emailed out to us ahead of time, as always, to help streamline the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for Dan on town buildings?
I do have another, so I was informed by Mr. Viteri over at Eli Whitney that the roof is leaking in a couple of areas. I don't know if he was aware of it or not. And I
Is that
believe
the-
it's
Yes,
the flats. Go ahead,
Dan,
Nick.
new roof?
Yes, I believe they were, we were gonna check, I think Rich was gonna have the custodian check just to see if they thought it was coming through a unit or if it was through the roof. And I believe the contractor was being, called to take a look at that and see if there's any repairs he's responsible for.
So my guy did look at he couldn't figure out how the water was getting in. I did call because I wasn't sure if Brian Schneider was still involved with being able to have the roof fixed by the contractor that did it. So Brian was actually going to look into it. I haven't heard back from you.
Brian's here right now. Brian, if you want to chime in.
Yeah, Rich, when we spoke, I said that we're probably within the 2-year window of the labor and material warranty with Young Developers, with the contractor.
Right.
That project wasn't closed out until, I mean, we're probably getting really close to that because he was finishing some sheet metal work and trim work in the fall 2 years ago. But he's only responsible for roof stuff. If we were to call him out there and the leak is coming from wind-blown rain into brick, that's not his responsibility, and he's going to bill for stopping by.
Agreed. Just like I say, my guy couldn't figure out how the water was getting in. Maybe one of the guys in the town can go and look at it.
I mean, I could have one of our guys take a look at it. Maybe they could figure it out and see if it is coming through a unit or brick or through the roof itself.
Dan, with your roof background, do you have any guesses?
No, obviously, I think if it's a membrane problem, it's the responsibility of the contractor or the manufacturer. But, as long as they take a look at it and, if it's something other than that, then obviously I think we would have to incur the cost.
All right, if one of Danny's guys can't figure it out first.
Yeah, if it's not obvious to us, then we'll just call the roofer there, and if we have to pay him, we have to pay him.
Danny, I'd be happy to meet you out there in the next few days to take a look.
All right, Brian, that sounds good. I'll give you a call in the morning. We can figure out when.
Okay. Yeah, leaks are tricky to track down. Yes, it could be the roof, but I would probably say there's an 80% chance it was that one rainstorm had a lot of wind. That was, I believe, the nor'easter. So we were getting 30 mile an hour. We were getting 30 mile an hour winds with gusts like over that. So it's possible it just got blown in through a window with a gap or through masonry.
Okay, well, as always, the important thing is, and I'm sure this is what Dan Senft wanted, is that it gets rectified.
It will.
All right, any other questions for Dan on town buildings? Okay, item B2 is Booth Park. Dan, is there any updates on Booth buildings?
No, not really. We just finished up a couple things. We got the heat going in the buildings. We are moving the stuff in the clock tower. I checked with the volunteers. They don't have anybody to move because we're going to have that window taken out and restored, the stained glass window. So it's up to us to move all the artifacts that are up there on the second floor and get them out of the way. So we're working on that. Once we do, I'll contact the renovation contractor and get that taken care of.
Mr. Chairman, I have one item. So I was at the Veterans Memorial home today. And I guess, Dan, somebody went in the bathroom area and took care of that one window with putting new, I don't know if they were new balances that went in, but it seems to be operating great for an old window. The issue that they're having right now is in the upstairs. They've got a couple of windows that the panes are broken and they need some work done because the heat's just blowing out of there right now. So any chance the individual that did the work on the one window could get up and check those other windows out?
Yeah, we could check them out. I mean, they're all in pretty bad shape. It's
Yeah, they are.
problem is we'd have to probably try to restore them like one at a time. And I don't think we'd be able to just change them all. We'd have to get approvals on all the windows and everything. So we'll get up there and get the worst ones. We'll talk to the guys over there, and we'll get them out of there and repair them, put them back.
Great. I know they'd appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay.
And Dan, just so Aileen gets it right in the minutes, and I know she knows, but you were talking about the Veterans Museum, correct?
Museum, yeah. It's
Okay.
at home. I'm sorry.
I just for anybody that's listening or watching this later on YouTube, just wanted to make sure we had it correct. Thank you. Okay, item 4 is new business. Brian, do you want to take us through these?
Yes, we had bid openings for the 3 roof projects that we bid this past spring that we had to cancel because product was nowhere available for like 5 months. So we put the Worcester, Second Hill Lane, and Chapel back out the bid in hopes that we're ahead of the wave to get materials before this past summer. And A. Secondino and Sons out of Brantford was the low bidder on all 3 projects. I'm assuming you have the numbers in front of you, so I don't need to read through them. A. Secondino and Son was the same contractor that was low bidder for Stratford Academy Johnson House roof, which we did 2 years ago, and they performed extremely well. So it's my recommendation that these 3 projects be awarded to them.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion to approve all 3 of the town bids as listed in the agenda and send to the town council with a favorable recommendation?
So moved, Dan Semple.
Alan Llewellyn will second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion after hearing Brian's opening?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions just for Brian. Brian, specific to insulation right now, I know we are probably anywhere between 7 to 10 months out on ISO right now. Have they made any commitments as far as when they can get this work done?
They have not made any commitment. They're optimistic that they're going to be able to get ISO for this summer, but they can't sign any deals until we get them a signed contract, which is why I've been really pushing these projects through the paces to make this meeting tonight and to make sure it makes it to town council so we can get them a signed contract or a notice to proceed so they can start negotiating. They were Secondino, well, the sister company to Secondino, which is Premier, it's owned by the same thing. They are the low bidder on the Birdseye Municipal Building roof. So they have 4 roofs in town. So in speaking with the owner of Secondino, they were very optimistic that with 4 projects, it's going to be very attractive for a manufacturer to sign a deal. So the big thing here is just trying to get them a signed contract so they can, in fact, go out and try to procure right away. They have warehouse space, so whenever they can get a truckload, their intent is to grab the truckload.
Okay, and I think the biggest fear is right now, we're just experiencing costs going up on a monthly basis with ISO right now. It's the raw material cost we're facing. So
right.
Are they prepared to lock in a price with us at this point?
They owe us bid price. I think the bid is supposed to stand for 60 to 90 days that they own it. And that question came up during the bidding process. It's like, will the town absorb any overages if they're incurred? Because oftentimes roofers are being charged the price at the time of delivery. And I advised Mr. Ryan, the purchasing agent, I didn't recommend we start putting in a sliding scale because it's very hard to, it's easy for things to go awry when you allow things to slide. And so I told them, I'm going to just make them hold their bids for 60 days. So if they have to cover themselves and put 10% on the installation to cover themselves, they have to do what they have to do. It's just important that we get them a notice to proceed or an award within that window. So, it's on them to find the materials in time.
Yeah, exactly. No, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. And one just last thing on Chapel, it's just the flats we're looking at Chapel, correct?
It's the flats and it's the shingle roof in the front. I believe that's over the cafeteria. The gymnasium's not being done.
Okay. I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, any further discussion on these 3 school roofing contracts? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. Item 5 is the date of our next regular meeting. As always, the first Monday, it'll be December 6th, and a special meeting if needed, but as Alan mentioned, is looking very doubtful, would be November 15th. With that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carries unanimously. We are adjourned at 6:06 p.m. As always, everybody, thank you for your time and commitment to the town.